Rude Rangers! I've said it before, I'll say it again. This world is made up of all kinds of people. Too nosy, too needy, too political, too religious, too cray-cray, or as we call it, just too much. And here at Rudy's Room, we have a dream team, and we welcome all of them. If you want to find out who we're inducting into Team Too Much this week, check us out on social media. Who knows? It might be you.
Hey, this is Jewel Tanker from the Jewel Tankard Show on Impact Network every Saturday. Or you can check out me and my family, the Tankers, on Prime Amazon or Chatter Talk Show on Foxo with my girls, Dr. Dee Dee Freeman, Monique, Eilert Mosley, Real Talk Kim, and Holly Carter. And you are watching Rude Rangers TV.
Everyone, you will not believe who I have today. As you know, Let's Talk with Lela is about paying homage to the icons, the trailblazers of the music industry. And we sit back and we talk about their lives, their music, their influences, everything that you as a fan want to know. And me as the biggest fan, I created this platform just for that. So today I have Brandon Stevens, Jerry Midas Touch Hardison, Thomas Hunter, and the one and only Ken Knox, members of the chairman of the board.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys, I am so excited. Look at all of, as I saw them and I said, look at all these beautiful menses up in here.
Yeah. Don't overlook yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm gonna tell you, you're one of the best looking interviewers we've had.
Wait a minute. Let me wait a minute.
Yeah. Go
Say
ahead.
it again.
You're one of the best looking interviewers we've had, right, fellas?
I agree. I concur.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You're gonna make me blush. Y'all better watch out. You know I got y'all's numbers. So you better watch it. I want to talk about, I'm gonna start off with you, Jerry Hardison, because you are a preacher's kid.
I am.
You are a preacher's kid, and I want to know how you got started in the music industry.
Well, man, so being that my dad is a preacher, actually now, to be more specific, he's a bishop, but he started pastoring, or I think just a few years out of high school. Back in those days, people didn't have to, have a degree to preach. It was more about feeling the calling upon your life that led you to the pulpit. So being that my father was heavily involved in church, and he actually played music too. He played keyboard, piano instruments as well. So, which meant that I had access to those instruments within my home, and also when I went to church. I actually started out on a drum set about 2 or 3 years old, and then I gradually transitioned into playing the keyboard and piano and stuff, and every Sunday and then sometimes during the week, revivals and things of that nature. So he made sure to utilize me at an early age, but I'm very thankful for it currently, because it helped groom me for the lifestyle and the work ethic,
Right. And Mr. Hunter, let me hear about you. When did you, who influenced you musically? Because you're a singer and you have that voice that make women just go, just lay out. You hear me?
That's good to hear. That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
So my influences were, some of the people that you spoke of, like Luther Vandross. I like Luther and Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder and people like that. I started being influenced in that era of music.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Stevens.
Yes.
Look at you. Look at you. What are you, 21? 21 years old?
21, well, 25.
I just want to get those cheeks and just look at that. Tell me about you.
Yeah.
Tell me about you
Well,
and your musical influences and how you got started singing, sir.
Well, I would have to say one of my main musical influences is my mother. She's a gospel singer and pianist. She directs the choir at her church. So I've always felt like I have the male version of her voice. So I was singing since I was a baby, according to her. And growing up, my records, the records that I listened to were the records that my mother played. She played a lot of gospel, all gospel, and my dad played R&B and soul. So I heard a lot of James Cleveland, Clark Sisters, Winans, and of course Andre Crouch and the Hawkins growing up. And as a matter of fact, my mother's cousin, he was actually the drummer for James Cleveland.
Really?
Oh wow, yeah. So you may have run into him. His name was Butch Galloway. And he was
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So he was with James for a while back in the I guess that would have been in the mid 70s to early 80s, somewhere in that period. But anyway,
when you said James Cleveland, he is one of my all-time favorites, and I remember going to the church in LA because that's where I'm from, and I would go over there and we would just sit there and listen, and that is something that you don't see a lot now anymore. You know, we got the Canton Spirituals, James Cleveland, Albertina Walker, all of these, just there's so many groups out there that I would listen to growing up and created my love and passion for music. So it's so funny you say that, and I'm gonna get back to you, but we gotta talk too.
Okay.
Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool like that. Mr. Cool like that. The one and only Ken Knox. Come on now.
Yeah.
Knox.
Well, you know what? I'm only wearing these glasses because we got into 4 o'clock this morning. So everybody's eyes are bloodshot and puffy.
Right.
So my thing is just like Brandon's. My family, I just found out last year, my mother and her sisters had a gospel quartet in West Virginia.
What?
And their mother, my mother never told me about it. Never even talked about it. And their mother would accompany them on piano, when they were performing. And then later on, come to find out, which I know this for sure, my sister and her group, you familiar with Kim Weston?
Yes, of course I am.
All right. My sister, Kim Weston is like my play cousin because my sister, Kim, and 2 other girls, they were the first gospel group signed to Motown. They were called the Wright Specials. And speaking to James Cleveland, they were James Cleveland's go-to singers.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever they were his go-to singer when they come to Detroit or in the Midwest, he would sing for them. And then my brother was a saxophonist. And that's how I got interested in playing sax, because it was around the house and I would put it together, stop blowing on it. He saw the interest that I had in it, and he actually purchased a sax for me during the Detroit riots.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There was a guy running down the street with a saxophone. He stopped the guy, hey, I need that. And he bought it for $50. I wish I had it now. It'd be worth some money.
Some Monday.
Yeah, but so the same thing. And then growing up in Detroit, I was influenced by Junior Walker, of course, because he plays sax.
Yeah.
And friends of mine are Temptations, Four Tops, all those guys are my friends. And they were very influential. And I got the bug from that.
Yes, and then in Motown with Motown, Detroit, all of that. So you had so many artists that you couldn't help but be influenced by the music. And what was it like growing up during that time, as a matter of fact, in Detroit?
Man, it was so much fun. I mean, you know, the crime was down when I was growing up, you know.
Yes.
But, you know, everybody's in the street playing basketball or baseball or football. But as you walking down the street to your house, you hear music coming out of people's hi-fis. Remember hi-fi? You know what a hi-fi is?
No, what's that?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Thomas, you know what a hi-fi is, don't you?
I don't know what a hi-fi is. That'll date me.
Y'all crazy.
Is that a type of
Well, we call it a hi-fi in Detroit. Oh, you know what it is?
Yes.
They call it a stereo system. It was like a piece of furniture.
Oh.
And you lift the box up, put your 45 on it, and put your album on it, and you got 2 speakers. It was just like a piece of furniture.
What?
And yeah, so when you're walking down the street, you might hear Temptations come out of somebody's house. You might hear Mitch Ryder and Detroit Wheels coming out of your house. Cool Jerk by the
Cool Jerk?
by the Capitals. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that guy, he lived down the street from me.
No way.
So yeah, he lived down the street, and also the 100 Proof Asian Soul used to rehearse at my house, and that's how that bug got me too.
Oh my Lord. Oh my
Yeah.
Lord. So then from that, I know that how did you guys form, or how did you I know that you joined chairman of the board after the late, great General Johnson,
Right.
or with him, as a matter of fact. So, and that was in the 70s when you joined chairman of the board. So
Yeah.
take me from there.
Wow. I joined in, well, I was with a local band in Detroit at the time. And back in the day, you would have singers come into a club and say, hey, can I take the mic? And the band said, yeah, what you want to hear? And he said, well play Stormy Monday, or something like that. So we struck up whatever tune it was, and it was Danny Woods. Danny was the first person I met. So Danny said, look, man, I think we have something here. He said, we're putting together a touring band for the chairman of the board, and I want you to come audition. I said, man, come on. I ain't never auditioned for nobody because I wasn't used to that. And so I got enough nerve up, went over there, and when I went into the studio, there were all my musical heroes, like the Funkadelics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, Tiki Fullwood on drums, Eddie Hazel on guitar, Billy Bass on bass, and Bernie Worrell on keyboards.
What
And
you say?
And out of that quartet right there, Billy Bass is the only one living. So then there's General. I hadn't met General yet, but I met Danny 3 nights before, and then there was Harrison Kennedy. Long story short, I was in the touring band, and when Harrison Kennedy left the group, General said, you know what, you have something. He said, I want you to move up front and become a member of the chairman of the board. I was like, oh, what? And it was like the best day of my life.
What?
You know, and yeah, so that was my, you know, that's my journey.
That is incredible. And I've been looking at, you know, I love you guys, you know that, and I know that you and Shelly White and all of you guys, you have That's My Story. And I would sit there and I watch your show, and it is so incredible. Tell me how you got it started with creating that show.
Well, actually, Taz, who's our producer, she came to me and said, Kim, we have to keep y'all out there, the chairman of the board out, because during the pandemic,
right,
the only format was Zoom or you know, one of those type of deals.
Yes.
And she came up with the idea, the chairman being on screen talking to our fans. And Thomas or Brandon or Midas, y'all can jump in about this.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, so it started out as like a party chat. No format. You know, we would just log on at a certain time, a designated time, with the link. We would just log on, and a few of us from the chairman of the board and the executives would, it gave us the opportunity to stay connected with our fan base or our friends, family, because at that particular time we couldn't, because of the pandemic, we couldn't go out and play any shows.
Right.
So after about 3 or 4 what we call party chats, it spawned into an actual platform where, you know, we all collectively agreed that we would decide to have guests on and do similar to what you're doing here, as far as just taking a recapping, going down memory lane.
Right.
For me, it was like a dream come true for me to be able to sit and have a chat with such musical legends, people that I've looked up to or heard their music, and you know, here I am getting to I don't want to say interview them, but just have a discussion with them, and they share their story and, you know, some ins and outs about the business, and you know, they talked a little bit about their home life and things like that. And they gave us some inspiration on, you know, just to keep us inspired going through the pandemic, which we're still in. Things appear to be definitely better than they were in 2020, but and it was therapeutic for us as well, I would say, because just as much as audience needs to be entertained, entertainers need an audience.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Now Brandon has I don't mean to interrupt, but Brandon has a touch of this because he created all the graphic work. Take it, Brandon.
Yeah. So I created the logo for the show, and I did our flyers early on, and then I stayed on with the show for a couple of months, and then I let Ken and Tom and Shelly take it from there.
Wait a minute, who's Shelly? Wait a minute.
Shelly Clark White.
Yeah, Shelly Clark White.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So I let them continue the show on as I continue to support from the audience after the first couple of months. But it was a great experience getting to talk to a lot of musical legends, people that we look up to, people that I only knew from videos and album credits, you know. So
ain't it something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. You get to know the stories behind the songs, and that's something I want to touch on when we talk about Pay the Piper. Come on now, tell me the origins of that story of that song.
General and Greg Perry and Angelo Bond.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. I want to interrupt you, but Greg Perry, you know I'm gonna need to have him on this show because Greg married to Edna. I had no idea. Remember that? I had no idea that they were even related. And then I'm telling you, I was a baby. I had no idea how everyone was connected. So Greg Perry, he was the producer, correct?
Yeah, writer and producer. Him, General, and Angelo Bond, they wrote those hits like that. Pay to the Piper. And the story is, if somebody was, you know, that saying's been around for years. Your grandma used to say that, or your granddaddy. And so they always their formula was taking a phrase and making it to a hit. They had that magic and talent to do that. Pay to the Piper, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. Want Ads. You know, these were great things that you know, hey, God, this is Want Ads. You know, they make a song about it. And you know, it turns gold. You know, that was a formula. Then you have to have the right person singing. So Danny Woods, it was perfect for him because on stage he was Mr. Energy. And he would perform that song. And he was like a Mick Jagger before Mick Jagger.
I love it.
Yeah. So,
I love it.
You know, you don't find those often. You don't find talents like that often.
Right. What about Give Me Just a Little More Time?
Those were written by the Hollands.
Holland Dozier Holland.
Yeah, and oh God. Can't think of his name right now. Ronnie Dunbar. Ronnie Dunbar, one of the Hollands, they wrote Give Me Just a Little More Time. Perfect person singing it. was General, because his voice is so different. You know, he had the pleading voice, and Thomas does a great job of it now when we do it, and Brandon does a great job paid to the piper when we do it.
Yes, I've heard Mr. Thomas sing. I told you, he's
Okay.
smooth like that. He is smooth. He got that voice that is smooth like that. Now, what about dangling on a string?
You know, I think that was Lamont Dozier. I think it's the Holland. I don't know right off, but I think that was written by those guys, the three, the Holland Dozier, Holland, I believe.
Okay. Now, there's this one song that you guys performed it at when you were inaugurated into the North Music Hall of Fame. And you talk about, I was just crying watching it. And you know which song I'm talking about. I'm on my way. That's that gospel. Right. That's that. Remember, I told that gospel. That's how I knew that you guys you grew up on gospel music. I knew it. I knew it.
Well, you know what? The original version is faster.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because back in the day, speaking with General, he said, you know, when you're talking about somebody leaving, dying, give it a beat. So, you know, but your lyrics and stuff are still there. The content is still there, but give it a beat. That was back then. So the funny thing is, Thomas, Brandon, and myself did our first tour in England in 2016. And we sent the music ahead, and we were at sound check the very first night we had landed. And I said, and the piano player was getting his little stuff together. I said, hold on, wait. Let's try this again, let's slow it down. And ever since we slowed it down, people it was one of our most requested songs on tour, right guys?
Oh yeah. And even if I could chime in, I know a lot of people would approach us. Yeah, so in reference to the song, I'm on my way to a better place, you know, a lot of our following or fan base approached us during the time we were playing that song quite a bit, and they put it out there, like if my time comes, you know, and I want you guys to play this song, to perform this song at my funeral. And it's I mean, you know, you hate to think about times like that, right? But it's a part of life, of course, but it's flattering that song touched so many people to the point that they felt comfortable enough to even share that, you know. So like you said, the gospel, I guess undertones of it and the message that's with it is very touching song.
It really is, and it was so beautifully done because both my parents and my sisters, you know, I'm the baby, or you know, they're all gone, and it is, you know, and I don't have any immediate family that I'm nearby, and so I'm here, you know, with me and these dogs.
You and your babies.
Yeah, my babies. They are my babies. So when, you know, the holidays, you know, are rough. Birthdays are rough. And it's the music like that song actually comforts me. But it allows me to be emotional because, you know, I try to be strong about the loss, and we all do, you know, to make it through the day. But when we hear something and it takes us there, and the tears, they're good tears because I'm remembering the good times, the bad times. I'm remembering versus not saying their names or not thinking about it, pushing it out of my mind. And when you said the gospel undertones, I think about you know, James Cleveland, all of those songs, you know, all that kind of singing, you just don't have it anymore. You just don't. You just don't.
That's the genius. That's the genius of General Johnson and Greg Perry writing those lyrics.
Yes.
this was written back in late 60s. And see, of course, it's timeless.
Yes.
You know, but I tell you what, we performed it at an award show. And the next day, well, we got a standing ovation for that. Yes. You guys remember that?
I remember.
Yeah, we got a standing ovation. And the next day, my phone was ringing up the hook. Ken, when are y'all gonna record this? Because if you do, I'm buying it. And this one lady, she had a record store, and she is ready for the song. And it's just so timeless, and like you said, it's comforting.
Yes, it is. It really is. And in addition to, but you know what? And I just thought about this. Unless you had that influence and you understood the lyrics, and that's the one thing about singing. And I've shared this with so many people. Music, it changes your demeanor. It comforts you. It makes you happy. It uplifts you. That's something about music that people don't understand. I think they understand it, but they don't realize that for an artist, you as an artist, all of you as an artist, Brandon, tell me what it's like when you see the reaction, when you're singing these songs and you see the reaction. Do you feel the audience, what the audience is feeling?
Yeah, I mean, because going back to the UK, for example, every song that we sang, the audience sang nearly all the words. So yeah, talking about a song like I'm on my way to a better place. That, when you see people in the audience with tears in their eyes, it's hard not to be moved by that. And so it does allow us to connect. I look at songs like that have a very strong emotional message as being kind of like a portal to just a higher emotional plane, and we get to share that together with the audience when we perform songs like that.
And Mr. Hunter, how are you, Mr. Smooth like that? How are you able to compose yourself when you see the reaction that the audience, whether it's everyone's up dancing, singing along with you? How do you contain yourself from either laughing or putting the mic down, getting up, grooving with them? What is it?
Actually, I groove with my audience all the time.
Okay.
I always try to make that contact, person-to-person contact. I do the eye contact with my audience, and it's like we're all having a good time. And in songs like On My Way to a Better Place, it has a deep meaning for me. And when I sing it, it's kind of difficult to stay emotionally detached because it's such a strong song.
Right.
And it means so much to me. I can feel the meaning of it, and it means so much to me, and I can see in the faces of the audience what it means to them. But yeah, I groove with my audience.
You better be. Talking about you looking them in the eyes, you better watch out. That's
what I do.
Hey, you were smooth like that? I'm telling you, I already know. I'm very intuitive. I can tell.
That's what I do. Yeah. That's what my audience enjoy me for. I want them to enjoy themselves and enjoy the chairman of the board. Whenever I get the mic, I want to give them all that I have, and let's have one good time, like we're all friends, all old friends.
Right. And Mr. Musical Director, when you're putting together the songs that are going to, how do you actually choose which songs are going to be performed?
Well, that's basically up to Ken. Ken has the final say so as far as like set lists and everything like that are concerned. Now, I will say, while we were referencing the UK, we did change up our set list for that trip, because there were certain songs that we do here that may not resonate as well over there. So that's just, I guess having the wherewithal to understand your catalog and what works where, but we have a standard list of songs that we do, a core but depending on the show, a few titles may get swapped out for these particular titles. But at the end of the day, Ken has the final say. So he always reference to me and Mr. Jerry B. Washington, and see what our input is like. And I guess he trusts us. He trusts us, and that's one of the responsibilities, as well as, keeping everybody on the same page, professionally and musically, and coming up with arrangements with shout out to Jerry D. He does a lot of that. I do some sprinkling with the arrangements and stuff, but we kind of work together. But Ken has the final say so as far as what our set list will be for any given show.
Now, Mr. Ken, I just thought about something, because I know when I'm at a concert, and all of you guys can respond to this. When I'm at a concert, I lose my mind and I start screaming out the songs that I want to hear. And I know that happens. I mean, it's flattering that people know your catalog. I get it. But how do you handle that when people are screaming, sing this, sing that?
Well, we sing this and we sing that.
That's right.
First of all,
because they paid to get in.
If
not, they could have stayed at home and look at it on YouTube. So the audience is always right. And what they're feeling, we try to give them what they're feeling. And y'all can jump in.
And as Maida said, we have a core list of songs, and most of those songs are the songs that everyone always requests. So we always at some point in the show, we're doing those songs anyway. So when they're screaming a song, I usually hold up and say, wait 1 minute.
Just wait 1 second.
I love it. Now, Mr. Brandon, has there ever been a situation when you're singing that someone really throws you off in the audience, and you have to just go like, like a girl running up to the stage, somebody?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of those moments. There'll be people trying to talk to us, people just trying to make a spectacle of themselves. We actually had some of that happen last night.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it can be kind of difficult to, because you don't want to interrupt the song to try to talk to somebody, but you don't also want to just totally ignore somebody. But, I think ultimately people have to understand is that when performers are on stage, that needs to be something that is uninterrupted, unless there is a break in the show where we're actually taking time to talk to the audience, which Ken does a lot. But yeah, I mean, there's various distractions that happen quite frequently during the type of shows that we do, where we have hundreds of people in front of the stage. It's bound to happen at some point.
Now, do you ever get scared performing?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
That's something I can say. I never get nervous, or the only thing I get nervous about is if there's an issue that's out of my control, like maybe sound equipment malfunction or something like that. But other than that, no, I don't get nervous or scared about performing. That's something I've never had a problem with.
What about the rest of you? No nerves?
I'll say I wouldn't call it nerves or butterflies, anything like that, but there's a certain excitement, that comes along with the anticipation of getting ready to play, going through the process, and which is good because it kind of makes you, as they say, get up for the event, or for the task at hand. So I wouldn't call it nervous or scared, but there is a feeling of anticipation and excitement.
Excitement that you're gonna blow everyone's mind.
Absolutely, because we're very blessed to do something that we're gifted at, and something that we love, and something that brings joy to people. So that's it. So that in itself is exciting. It's a blessing.
Even that, what you just said, bringing joy. You see so many people having a great time. and they're doing that because of you. That has to be that feeling is something, I bet it's indescribable. I can imagine
it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling, you know, when you're up there and, you know, these guys do, you know, all the singing, but you know, even the guys in the band, it's fulfilling when you can look out and see people enjoying themselves, people smiling, people dancing, you know, it's fulfilling. I guess that's the best word I could use at this particular moment to describe.
And Mr. Ken,
Yes.
when now I know that you guys are huge in the UK. You're huge in the United States, but in the UK, what is that like? You're going over to a whole nother country and people are screaming, they know your songs, and you've been doing this for so long.
Right.
What
It's amazing. Those people over there have more soul than I thought that they had. Right? I mean, we played a club over there, and the waitress came back to the dressing room to bring us, you know, some soft drinks, whatever. And she said, "Can I sing for y'all?"
Oh.
And when she sang, it blew us away, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Man, those people can sing over there. That's why you had I can't think of the girl's name that died.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. You know, they feel American music. And that's why we're successful over there. Now, my first tour over there was in 1975. And I was totally amazed. Now, I had something embarrassing happen to me. My first time over, the girls tried to pull me off stage.
Shut up! Are you serious?
Yeah, and Danny had to grab me by my waist and pull me back. Man, I ain't
rock stars.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's my first time, and I'm just about being pulled off the stage. And 'cause back then I was weighing 126 pounds. I was a featherweight. So Danny pulled me back, but that put fear in me.
Right.
You talking about being scared to go on stage? I was scared every time. So, this might happen again tonight. But like you said, those people over there, I ain't say those people, the fans of ours and friends, they know everything about you before you get there.
Yeah. Oh wow.
You know,
yes.
In fact, in 2016 and 2018, I saw a lighting technician that was on the tour in 75. He said, "Ken, do you realize it's been 42 years since I seen you?"
Wow.
Yeah, I said, wow, this is crazy. So guys, chime in about the UK.
Yeah.
But you know, I had an experience like that. We were on stage in the UK.
Wait a minute. Wait. You know where I'm going with this. Look them in the eyes.
Right, I looked them in the eyes.
Smooth like that. It's not explain about some woman pulling off the stage. Okay.
Right. That's what I'm about to explain. But you know, sometimes, you know, the crowd always have their hands stretched out. And there have been several times when I have reached my hand out, you know, just with the crowd and have been pulled back, and I would have to pull myself back in order to stay on stage. The fans over there are very enthusiastic about the chairman of the board. They love us. They really do.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Brandon. Look at that face. Now, you know, I know they chased you. The women chasing you, pulled you off the stage, all of that. I'm curious.
I wouldn't go that far. I would say that I think they loved all of us equally. Now the one guy that's not here, he's the ladies star of the show, our bass player, Jerry Washington. Now, now when he we have a song that we do where he comes to the front of the stage playing bass, and you can hear the collective woo woo from the ladies.
The crowd roars.
There might be some of the men too.
Okay. It's a whole new world.
Oh boy.
A whole new world. That is something else. Now,
like you said, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Lela. We do have to shout out, as Midas and Brandon did. Jerry D. Washington is like, he's the fourth voice when we go over.
Hey, Jerry.
And Jerry. And collectively, the two of them are our MDs. But we have a fantastic band internally, that, because of expenses, they can't afford to bring us all over.
Right.
But I have to give a shout out to the executives in Jerry D. Washington. They're tremendous guys, great musicians, and they stuck with us. I mean, they're as important as we are.
All right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
I'm
right.
sorry. What were you gonna ask?
No.
I gotta tell my UK experience.
Yes,
go ahead.
I want to hear this.
Let me shout out the rest of the executives. Jerome Joseph,
Hey,
Ron
Jerome.
McCoy, John Page the third,
Hey.
and Doug Burns. And I think did I get everybody? All the
Rod.
Hey, did I say Rod
McCoy.
McCoy? Okay, Rod the real McCoy. There we go. Yeah,
I love it.
I had the opportunity to go in 2018 to co-music direct and whatnot, along with Mr. Jerry D. Washington, and we were the musicians from our executives outfit here. So we went and played with some other pieces there, and we comprised the band. But in the UK, it was a wonderful experience. The thing that stood out the most to me, Brandon mentioned earlier, just the fact that you're that far away from home, and you're doing your material, and the people know it word for word, and they're so giving over there. Like while I was over there, I had after a couple of shows, fans or friends. I'll just say friends. I like friends better than fans, but they give you stuff. They give you stuff. They want to give you this and give you that, and so I think they really appreciate the music, especially when it comes from a soulful place. But they're wonderful people, so loving, so warm-hearted and giving.
I love hearing that. That's good. I know as a fan, I love to hear it when people say friend. So that it does make a difference, because you got from fan, you got fanatic.
Yeah.
And it's, there's
yeah.
So I really do. That makes me feel much better. It really does.
I think it just levels the playing field, and we can deal with each other equally.
Right. I love it. Where are you guys going next? I know that you played in North Carolina yesterday, right?
Oh yeah. Should we recap? We were in South.
We're in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Should we recap last week real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow. Well, we started Wednesday in Wilmington, North Carolina. There was an event for the municipal folks of the town there. It was a private event. Go ahead. You can.
City managers and councilmen and government officials. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Now, the number one question I want to know personally, why do you guys stay looking so good?
Wow.
I'm sitting up here looking at this. I'm like, come on now.
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Man, you speaking some facts. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I think all the guys in our outfit take pride in being presentable. So guys they'll make sure their hair is how it needs to be, the facial hair is how it needs to be, the clothes are how they need to be, and then you gotta let's go ahead and mention hygiene, make sure we got that covered. It's a cleanliness is next to godliness, so we just take pride in ourselves. Our parents taught us well.
It's that you got that extra power.
All right.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you got that. Okay.
Yeah.
That. That's one of my favorite songs too.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually a great thing because you can look at some outfits and look at there'd be a difference between these particular guys in the band and versus these other guys in the band, but I think we all kind of stand on the same standard as far as presentation is concerned.
I love it. I love it. You guys, this has been such a pleasure. It is an honor. When I tell you,
likewise.
I have not had this much fun. I have not had, ever since I found out I was going to be interviewing you guys, I always say my cheeks just hurt from grinning. Because I'm just so excited. And I want to have you guys back on again because there's so much that we just didn't touch. And I want to go down memory lane with each one of you because you have so much collectively. You guys have so much information and stories that you can, that, the audience want to hear.
That's part 2.
That's right. You know it is. You know that, man. Come on, man. You know that.
And before we sign off, I want to say to you that this is one of the best interviews that we've done. Seriously, and I am so glad to know your history.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Very, your history is amazing. And you don't shout it out. You know what I'm saying?
Humble.
You know what I'm saying? But what you said, y'all mean?
Y'all mean? I was gonna say she's humble though. She's humble. That's a great quality. Yeah,
that's a great quality.
Thank you.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's my story. That's my story, man. I'm gonna be on your show. I tell you that.
Oh yeah, we gotta have you on.
I'm gonna be on your
guys?
show.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that'll be
we
great.
gotta have you on. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, after every time I interview people that I've listened to and I look up to musically and I get to know you personally, it warms my heart. There is nothing, and I'm a crybaby, and this is what makes me cry because your friends out there, I want them to know, all the friends, fans, people who just listen to your music and enjoy it. I want them to know that the people behind the songs, the people who behind the performers out there, you're real. You have regular lives and you're good human beings because each one of you immediately said yes to be an interview. And you just don't know how much I appreciate it and how much the audience will appreciate this. Because to get to know you guys and to hear the backstory to the songs and performing, and to know that every last one of us grew up in the church. Grew up in the church. Our parents wouldn't let us listen to the blues, that secular music. But I had rock and roll. We had my dad, that rock and roll. My dad had the Jerry Butler, Leon Hudson. Oh God, the Isley Brothers, Temptation, Chairman of the Board. The Smokey Robinson, all Barry White. We had all that, and my parents used to speak to each other through songs. Like if my dad did something wrong, which, he would go buy a record and put it on, and my mom would be,
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
So I grew up listening to this stuff, and then I would sneak and watch Soul Train. My mother, she would be at home. When she would hear the opening of Soul Train, she'd come in and she'd be looking and grinning, and I'm like, okay, I can watch it again. She's not gonna say anything. And then to have that gospel influence, from being so young and able to, perform with, these heavy hitters and to see and to actually feel the music and feel the message. And that's something that you don't get unless you've been in the gospel music.
You have to feel that.
You got to
feel something that triggered a thought. As far as as it pertains to our band and these three gentlemen that sing, I feel like when we do what we do, the music can be felt. And when we locked in and everybody's on the same page and we're vibing with each other, I feel like there's some special sauce that happens, where the music can actually be felt because, sometimes you can hear a band playing and you don't feel anything.
Right.
You know? So I think we just have that component where we're able to provide that to our audience, to the ears of our audience.
I love it, man. I love it. I could talk to you guys all day. And I know this is going to be, it's not going to be one of them 8-hour interviews like I have. Because I'm so comfortable. And like I said, I just love just talking about it and talking to you guys and just hearing all of the stories. I just love it. So I'm going to sign off, and I just want to thank you guys again for just honoring me with your presence. And Mr. Thomas, don't be looking in my eyes. Looking in my eyes.
And much success to you and your platform as well.
Thank you, darling.
Absolutely. And we will have you on.
I love it.
Tell your story.
Oh,
that's my story.
Oh, Lord, I got some stories. People don't understand. I got some stories.
You know, Brandon gonna come back on for your story.
Okay.
As the guest host.
Okay.
Is Brandon old enough to hear my stories?
Yes. Look, this is my ID. This is my ID right here.
Man, come on now. We know you got some chalk, some flour, and put it on there. Come on now.
Some chalk and some flour.
Yeah, some chocolate flour.
Powdered sugar.
Yeah, he was out there in the kitchen. Got some flour to make himself look of age. Come on now, man. I was born on a Tuesday, not this past Tuesday, dude.
Okay.
Come on now.
You were born this past Tuesday.
I love it. Thank you guys so much.